Well, just something I've been working through lately is just learning about forgiveness. That's something I've been trying to figure out how to actually do. I've helped friends and family kind of work through it, but I've never actually had to do it myself and kind of figure out what the steps are to forgiveness.
I see.
So that's something that I'm working through internally lately.
Is it forgiveness of?
Forgiving, like my dad specifically. So that's something that I've been working on.
Okay.
And that correlates with my spiritual life as well. So.
It correlates with your spiritual
Yeah.
life. How so?
It's something I feel like I can't do on my own. Forgiving him. So it takes a lot of prayer. So I'm continually praying, digging in the Word, the Bible, for anything that can help me with that, because it's definitely something really difficult to do. Something that is like really deep internal. So that's why.
Okay. And you said prayer and Bible. So are you Christian?
Yeah.
Okay. You said that you've helped others work through forgiveness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did you do?
Well, I mean, I feel like I've helped my mom kind of deal with her forgiving my dad.
I see.
Just kind of talking through it and how she shouldn't act towards him and what I think is not going to be beneficial to the relationship, things like that.
Yeah.
But I don't think that I've necessarily worked on it on my side. Or
I see.
not really healthy. But.
Okay. I understand. So it's hard.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's really hard for you to forgive. What does it mean though for you? What does forgiveness really mean?
I think what I've labeled it as one word being like joy. So I think if I can overcome that, I can experience full joy.
Okay.
If that makes sense, I don't know. But how I kind of look at it is if I can get rid of all the anger and frustration that I feel, and almost sadness sometimes, that I can get rid of all that, I can feel full joy in life, and I don't have to feel like I have to help him. I can do my own thing. I don't have to tell my mom. I can do my own thing. I can experience life overall more freely.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So you feel like this unforgiveness that you're kind of experiencing right now is keeping you from being as joyful as you can.
Yeah.
Is that what?
Yeah, almost like a burden, I guess.
I see. Okay. Do you want to talk about what it is that you need to forgive, or?
Well, I guess I grew up in like a very hostile, negative environment growing up. And it all kind of went back to him. So my parents' relationship wasn't strong, and me and my dad, we got along occasionally. Like, he was diagnosed with bipolar disorder when I was about 10 years ago. So later on, we kind of realized why things were the way they were, but it took a while for us to realize what was going on. So there's a reason behind it, but it doesn't really justify anything for me.
Sure.
But I've never really dealt with it. But I need to forgive him for not treating me the way I should be. I felt like I should have been treated and things like that.
Okay. You kind of talked about what it would look like if you were to forgive. What does it look like now not forgiving? What does it feel like? How does it affect your daily life?
I would say very negatively, especially since I live back home now. So I'm back in that kind of not healthy environment. So I'm kind of experiencing it almost all over again. So that's why I'm feeling faced with, I need to kind of deal with this now. I realize I never dealt with it.
I see. So it's like more in your face now.
Yeah.
Can you give me an example of what you're experiencing?
For example, we can't carry on a conversation without getting frustrated with each other, so I shut down.
Okay.
Not really good communication, and then like I get frustrated at work more easily because the night before we just got into a big argument. So I mean, it just kind of domino effect, I feel like.
I see. So because you're closer to him in proximity, you're obviously having a conversation with him more, so it's easier for you to have those feelings pop up that are negative.
I think so.
Yeah. And then you just feel bad.
Yeah.
And it's not something you just turn off and walk out the house.
Yeah.
So it's affecting you at work and friendships.
Yeah, I think so. Just because I just feel, I don't know, I think my overall energy has been different, and I think a lot of it has to do with that, but I'm guessing it has a lot to do with that, cause I'm not really in a healthy environment when I'm at home, so.
I see.
And I'm home more often now than I used to be, cause I lived away, so it's affecting me more now.
Yeah. Do you think, you said that you shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that, or how do you think it would be different if you were more open?
With him?
Yeah.
It doesn't go well.
Okay.
I've learned, so
Okay.
that's my alternative, because if I open up to him, he tends to not think he ever did anything wrong or anything was done, so it just causes more issues, so I feel like it's better, I think that if I just don't say anything, and I shut down and just go in my room, so, yeah, that's kinda how I handle it now, instead of kinda confronting it when it happens.
Yeah.
So,
Confronting it within yourself
no,
or confronting him?
confronting him,
Okay.
but, yeah, so.
What would you do?
I just say, this hurt my feelings
Okay.
because of this, and yada, 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 whatever happened at the time, and it doesn't go well.
It doesn't go well.
Mm-mm.
He doesn't
He
receive.
doesn't respond well.
He doesn't receive well.
Mm-mm.
And then comes back.
Yeah.
So it's like a back and forth.
Yeah.
Even if you try to be open and honest, he still gets very defensive and kind of flashes back,
Yeah.
which causes you to shut down
Mm-hmm.
and leave.
Yep.
Okay. So do you see, it sounds like then, and please correct me if I'm wrong, that your work on forgiving him is actually going to be outside of your relationship with him?
Yes, that's true.
Is that?
Yeah. I also think I've decided I'm not gonna be able to truly and fully forgive him unless I actually don't live at home anymore.
I see.
So, like, I physically don't live there
Yeah.
stay there all the time, because it's just hostile, and, so
And what-
yeah, I agree with that.
What's the possibility of that? Of
It's
you-
not one.
You're not living there.
Financially, the means aren't there, so,
Okay.
and, so they're helping me out greatly financially, like,
Yeah.
I don't have to pay rent, so that helps out, and I
That is
can't
helpful.
afford rent right now, so.
Okay. Wow, so then that feels like you're really stuck.
Mhm.
Like you believe that there's no way that I can forgive him in my current situation, and I can't get out of my current situation.
Yeah.
How do you suppose then that maybe counseling can help if you really believe it's not possible?
How do I think it would help?
Yeah, like what can we do to free you then?
I don't know, the only thing I can think of is help me figure out like a game plan of how to forgive, because it's hard for me to I'm a very concrete person, so I need help trying to figure out my own how I can do that, you know?
Yeah,
It's hard for me to work through it myself, because I've got so much else going on. I need
see.
someone objectively to help.
Okay.
That's the one, yeah, it's helpful, I think.
Okay. Do you find that the suggestions you've made, like to your mom and stuff, has helped her?
I think somewhat, yeah. I think so. I think it's helped her, not the relationship, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does, because that's
Not
what
the relationship, but I think it's helped her.
Because that's what you're trying to do, is work on forgiveness and not necessarily reconciliation, right?
Yeah.
So then, if, let's kind of go back then, because you said that you're not sure that the things that help your mom would help you. Have you tried any of those steps that you suggested to your mom?
Well, no, I don't know. I think we have we're very different
Okay.
people.
True.
So I think we just think differently and we respond to things differently, so no, I haven't, and I think that's why I kind of haven't. And their relationship's completely different than ours, so
Sure.
it just looks completely different. So, and he responds, it might not seem like it, he responds better to me than he does her,
I see.
which is oddly enough, but
Yeah. But it's still not good.
yeah.
Alright, so, right now, you're in a situation where So then the goal is forgiveness. And when you think about that, when I say forgiveness of your dad, what's the first thing that pops in your head? Forgive what?
Forget, like something he's done?
What, like what, when you think I need to forgive, what really permeates those thoughts? What are the big things that pop up? Does that make sense?
No.
No. Okay. So you obviously been thinking that you need to work on forgiveness.
Yes.
Aside from the word forgiveness itself,
Yes.
what are the things that you think of?
Well, I guess words would be confusion is one thing. I don't know if that's what you're looking for, but confusion is one thing I experience just because we are close. We have a close relationship too, because it's not like he has bad days all the time. He has good days and we have great days.
I see.
So it gets very confusing because one day we have a great relationship, we do something fun, and we have a great father-daughter interaction, and then the next day it's completely different.
Yeah.
So it starts the whole process over again. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then another thing that pops up, I guess, is while forgiveness for my sake is what I want now, I do later on, and take a while for me to get there, I want to like start a new relationship with him.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And then frustration, because he doesn't take his medicine like he should. So it's partly his fault too, because he doesn't want to get better.
He doesn't want to.
Mm-mm.
Has he said that?
And he also doesn't think it's a problem, and he drinks a lot. So there's just a lot of other issues, so he doesn't want to get better. And so.
So you need to, so then the forgiveness then of the way that he treated you growing up.
Yeah.
The forgiveness of not taking responsibility for himself now.
Yeah.
Okay. So does that then mean that, I guess let's see how this sits with you. The acceptance of who he is and what he went through before being diagnosed. If you fully accepted that, would that help with the forgiveness?
If he fully accepted it?
If you did.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, as part of the forgiveness process of saying, he couldn't have done anything or was not able to do anything about it then.
Yeah.
Before the diagnosis. He is now, but then, maybe not.
Yeah.
And obviously I can't change that.
Yeah, that has helped me. I think that's what's kept me from dealing with it, actually, because I think that I was like, well, he had issues and he can't help it, kind of thing. And then like he had a really bad childhood growing up, so
Okay.
I think that made me not think I needed to forgive him because there's nothing to forgive.
Yeah.
So
So you have some empathy.
yeah.
Yeah, which is helpful.
Mm-hmm.
But it sounds like that just you're living with him right now just piles on
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
a lot of hurt. Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah. So there is, like you said, it's gonna be challenging to forgive because you're just getting piled on.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the forgiveness work, but then there also seems to be you being able to cope with your current situation differently too, so that it doesn't continue to pile on.
Mm-hmm.
Does that seem accurate?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, what are some ways that you cope with tough things in general? Tough times.
Like I was saying earlier, I definitely like lean on the Lord for when I experience difficult situations. Like I had, like whenever things happened when I was little, that's what I turned to because I feel like that's all I had.
Yeah.
And so that's definitely what I do now. Seek guidance. That's who I seek guidance from. So that's all I can do right now.
Okay.
So.
Well, let me ask you this: if that's what you do, then what is God telling you you should do?
That I need to forgive him, and that's what's been laid upon me in numerous ways has been like,
Yeah.
and that's what brought to light that I needed to kind of start this journey.
Sure.
So,
Okay. Yeah. So you're following the path that's
mhm,
been given to you.
yeah,
It's hard.
yeah, it's not easy,
It's really hard.
but it's not supposed to be easy.
It's not.
Yeah.
Okay. Why is it not supposed to be easy?
Well, I don't believe that everything in life is supposed to be
Okay.
easy.
All right.
I guess is what I mean by that.
I see. Some things,
Yeah.
but obviously not this.
Mhm.
Well, what I guess one of the questions that comes from that then is if it's going to be hard, how do you wade through it? How do you get through your current situation so that you can get to the other side? Do you find yourself wanting to get there quickly, or do you say, I'm gonna go through the difficult relationship? Or do you see yourself, like you said, trying to bypass the relationship?
Yeah. I think what I need to do is go through it.
Okay.
But that's not what I'm doing right now. I know I'm kind of going around,
Yeah.
but that's definitely what I need to do is kind of just face it head on and tackle it.
What would that look like?
I think I need to, on a good day with him, sit down and kind of tell him what I think I need, what this means to me, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Not so much as what he's done to me, but what this new journey that I decided I need to work on
Okay.
looks like. But
So you have not
I
shared
just haven't
that
done
with
that
him?
yet.
So a lot of the things you just told me.
Yeah, no, he doesn't know that. We don't really share the same belief system, and
Okay.
he doesn't understand where I'm coming from a lot of times, so
Okay.
very choosy. What I'm
Understand.
saying,
And in terms of mood too.
yeah. Exactly.
But you think that on a good day, that he would be more open to hearing you?
I think so.
Okay. And how would that help you?
If there's a positive outcome of that conversation, then I think about
It's
it.
gotta be the outcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the thing is negative, it would definitely push me back.
Mhm. What would be a positive outcome? What are some potential positive outcomes?
I don't expect too much. So I think positive outcome would even just look like him just understanding where I'm coming from. He didn't even have to own anything that he's done or said at that point. I don't even expect that, but just having a conversation without yelling would be one thing.
And just to hear you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what if you don't have that outcome?
I don't know that I would pursue this forgiveness thing just yet. I probably would naturally push back and not do it yet. I know that's how I usually respond to things like that.
Sure. And then what? How would that affect your life?
Not good.
Yeah.
Because I need to kind of get over this now. Like, this has been years in the making, so
Sure.
I think it's important right now. I think this is a pivotal point in my life, so I think this is a good time to handle it, so.
Okay. That sounds like it. It sounds like you've got a message loud and clear that it's time.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things is, I'm hearing you talking you talked earlier about this unforgiveness being a burden. And I just picture this metaphor of you walking around with a weighted vest on. And that weighted vest is the unforgiveness that you have for your dad. And it just weighs you down. And it gets heavier when you're at home.
Yeah.
But even when you leave home, you still have the vest on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I guess, I don't know if you've ever seen weighted vests before, but they often have a lot of different pouches in them with different, like, lead bars. I guess one that with each step that you take towards forgiveness, you picture yourself removing one of those weights. And that over time, that vest becomes lighter and eventually easy to shed. I don't know, what is that metaphor?
No, I like that. Makes it seem like it's a little bit of a time process,
Sure.
which I like that.
Yes.
Especially for someone